And welcome back to Brunswick Cable Access News. I'm Don Keating. Thanks for joining me this week. Let's take a look at our headlines. The heat has been an issue out there, and with the heat, unfortunately, accidents happen, and all too often lately we've heard stories about children being left in cars or pets being left in cars. So we want to take a look at the following. Temperatures in a car can rise as much as 20 degrees in the first 10 minutes, even with the windows cracked. On the average, 37 children die a year from heat-related deaths being trapped inside vehicles. Even the best of caretakers or parents can unknowingly leave a sleeping baby in a car, and the end result can be injury or even death. With the recent passing of a 6-month-old toddler whom was left in a car in a parking lot at a park in Medina County, we're reminded just how easy it is for anyone or any animal to be overcome by the intense heat inside of an automobile. Here are 10 ways to prevent heat stroke or even death. Never leave children alone in or around cars, not even for a minute. Put something you'll need like your cell phone, your handbag, employee ID, or a briefcase on the floorboard in the back seat. Get in the habit of always opening the back door of your vehicle every time you reach your destination to make sure no child has been left behind. This will soon become a habit. Keep a large stuffed animal in the child's car seat when it is not occupied. It's a visual reminder that the child is in the back seat. Make arrangements with your child's daycare center or babysitter that you will always call if your child will not be there on a particular day as scheduled. Keep your vehicles locked at all times. Your keys and/or your remote should never be left within reach of children. Make sure all child passengers have left the vehicle after the vehicle is parked. Make sure that when a child is missing, check vehicles and car trunks immediately. And finally, if you see a child alone in a vehicle, get involved. If they are hot or seem sick, get them out as quickly as possible. Call 911 or your local emergency number immediately. According to the city's fire chief, there are an estimated 350 to 400 fire hydrants throughout the city that stick out like a sore thumb. Most are orange in color, have been installed to replace other broken hydrants over the past year, or do not match the remaining 3,000 hydrants. Though the orange hydrants are due to get a makeover later this summer, various community and scouting groups won't lead the charge this time as they have through the previous Adopt a Hydrant program. Instead, the city plans to commission part-time workers to complete the task, City Council decided this week. While Council has been discussing the possibility of hiring part-time hydrant painters since the beginning of the year, members made it official June 25th when they voted 6-1 in favor of paying to have the work completed. At-large Councilman Brian Ousley voted against the move, noting that several scouting groups in the city were ready and willing to take on the task, at no cost to the city. A handful of Boy Scouts from Pack 3407 and their troop leaders were present in Council's caucus room that day to volunteer their time and labor to give them a fresh coat of paint. The average time it takes to sand, prime, and paint a hydrant is 15 minutes, Fire Chief Jim Baird said. Not only would allowing a community group to do the work free up city funds that could be put to better use, the Scout leaders said that the Scouts could use the community service to qualify for their rank. These hydrants can be taken care of very quickly. This isn't a maintenance issue. Anyone can scrape and paint, and we've proven that with the Adopt a Hydrant program, Ousley told Council and the administration. After a lengthy discussion, however, Council decided that outsourcing the work would be in the city's best interest. I think this is a great idea, but I'm concerned about liability and safety. What if something happened? Vice Mayor Mike Abella Jr. said. After the 2017 Adopt a Hydrant program failed to generate the interest it needed to paint the remaining 320 orange hydrants, the city hired a contractor to paint the remaining hydrants last year at a cost of $4,000. With more than 350 hydrants to tackle this summer, the administration has indicated it plans to allocate approximately $5,000 to the project this year. A new provider on Medina County's fiber optic cable network has begun offering high-speed internet services to residential and business customers. The city of Fair Lawn has announced it is leasing space on the Medina County fiber network and has started offering its Fair Lawn Gig service to the businesses and households along the government-owned network, which stretches for 151 miles throughout Medina County and into Parma and downtown Akron. Residential and business customers in Medina County and downtown Akron now can sign up for the municipal-run internet and phone services. The high-speed internet service costs $75 a month for households and $500 a month for businesses. Fair Lawn is leasing space on the Medina County fiber network for a base price of $2,800 a year, which additional cost for usage. Fair Lawn Gig is one of 13 carriers and the only municipal operation using the Medina County network. Ernie Staton, the City Deputy Director of Public Service who oversees Fair Lawn Gig, reports that Fair Lawn Gig offers residential customers a 10 gigabit connection, which is 10 times faster than the 100 megabits offered by some other providers. Fair Lawn Gig offers businesses 100 gigabit connections. No other provider on the Medina County network is offering service to residential customers. Although Fair Lawn Gig plans to provide residential service in Medina County, Staton said it will take some time to make those connections. Those interested in the service can sign up on the Fair Lawn Gig website, Staton said. The network will build the connections to homes when they have enough interest in one area to make it practical. The Medina County fiber network was built at a cost of about $14 million borrowed by the Medina County Port Authority in 2010. It consists of 151 miles of dark fiber throughout Medina County, connecting major metropolitan areas in the county with 144 strands of dark fiber and providing connectivity to the existing fiber network in Cuyahoga and Summit counties. The school district will be exempt from a new state building code mandate that requires new school buildings built to house grades K through 12 to include a storm shelter as part of the building's design. Superintendent Michael Mayo told members of the district's Board of Education last month that the new state building requirement took effect November 1st and could have adversely affected costs associated with the Brunswick Middle School project. Not only does the space have to be equipped with 27-inch thick walls, including the roof, but the structures also have to be capable of withstanding a 2x4 piece of wood traveling at 250 miles per hour. The new mandate implemented by the Ohio Board of Building Standards is intended to ensure the safety of students and staff, Ohio Department of Commerce spokesman Brian Bonnert said. Customer service is a top priority, as is the safety of our students, Bonnert said, noting that the mandate originated from the International Code Council, a national association specializing in the development of model building codes and standards. Saw a need to develop a rule requiring storm shelters in schools, particularly schools located in regions with a high risk of tornadoes, Bonnert said. During our due diligence to keep students in Ohio safe, the Board of Building Standards Code Committee took from the national model and included the storm shelter provision in the Ohio Building Code. Because the new code calls for the construction of storm shelters large enough to accommodate space for every student and teacher housed in the school, the price tag to fulfill such a requirement can be equally as substantial. This could have easily raised the cost of the new middle school by more than $1 million, Mayo said, noting that the new state building codes come in the wake of deadly tornadoes in Joplin, Missouri and Moore, Oklahoma, where twisters leveled school buildings in recent years. The code requiring storm shelters in Ohio schools only applies to new construction projects. Because the planning process for the Brunswick Middle School was already underway and approved by the Ohio Facility Construction Commission, by the time the new building codes took effect, the district has been grandfathered by the state since the new middle school will comply with building codes in effect at the time construction started. The school board unanimously approved legislation June 25th amending the project agreement with the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission to eliminate the storm shelter requirement for the new middle school. The community got its first peek at the layout of and several possible building exteriors for the Brunswick Middle School this week as part of the public forum hosted by the middle school project's design team. As part of the ongoing planning process, those living in the school district were invited to the James A. Hayes Performing Arts Center at Brunswick High School, where they were able to view the construction timeline for the school as well as a video illustration of both the building and site layouts for the project. We think that the exterior of this building should be designed by the community, whereas the staff and administration for the school will be the ones primarily responsible for developing the interior, said Ed Shearson, architect for the design architecture, the firm contracted by the school district to develop the building's overall design. This is the second time in what is expected to be a series of ongoing forums aimed at generating public input on the project. The first took place in March, at which time staff, students, parents, and community leaders were invited to participate in a visioning exercise, as part of which ideas everything from the layout of the school's cafeteria to the bus pickup lines were proposed. As part of this second presentation, Shearson turned to the community for its opinions on building exteriors. Guests were invited to participate in a visual preference activity as part of which they were able to survey the set of 20 images of proposed school building exteriors, all of which were paired in sets of 2. Participants were asked to vote as to which image they preferred and also comment as to why they found the image superior to the second image on the page. Their comments were all recorded and passed on to the architect, who will use those ideas to better formulate the final exterior rendering for the building. Shearson told the audience that his firm recently completed the schematic design process for the 283,000 square foot building and is now entering the design development stage, which is set to be completed by November. As part of this next phase of design, he said the community's input will be valuable in generating a design that will be palatable to the community. Final design plans, including all details for the middle school campus, as well as the building layout and appearance, are expected to be finalized and presented to the city's Planning Commission in April 2019. The school district and its architectural team are scheduled to appear before the city's Planning Commission for the first time on Thursday, July 19th. At that time, the school district will be looking for approval on the site layout, which, if granted, will enable Hammond Construction, the school district's contractor, to begin grading the land and constructing the new pad for the new school. The new middle school will consist of 3 floors and is being built to accommodate 1,800 students. It will feature a pod concept layout with separate pods for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and include a gymnasium and an auxiliary gym that will connect directly to the homestands of the school's new stadium, slated to open in 2021. The first level of the building will also include the Student Dining Center, which will be capable of seating approximately 1/3 of the student body at a time, while the second level will house the school's administrative offices. Shearson said flexibility is a key component of much of the building's overall design, which shared space and retractable walls that can be used as whiteboards throughout the building. Members of the Medina County Bicycle Transportation Task Force remain concerned about safety issues as they prepare for their annual Lake to Lake Harvest Bike Tour. Concerns aren't for riders in the popular group Ride planned September 15th, which is planned with health attention to caution and plenty of volunteers. The safety concerns are bike riders on Medina County roads the rest of the year. Group members have been visiting township and county officials to discuss placement of road signs reminding travelers of the new state law which requires drivers to allow at least 3 feet of clearance when passing a cyclist on the road. Medina Township resident Murray Van Epp is contributing $5,000 toward the purchase of about 40 of the new traffic signs that inform motorists of the new law. Task force members are negotiating with public officials about the best locations to place these signs. Beth Schnabel, newly elected president of the task force, told members July 5th that she has agreements to place about half the signs in Liverpool, Litchfield, and York townships. In addition, Medina Mayor Dennis Hanwell said the city also plans to erect the new road signs on their own with no help from the bicycle task force. Other committee members are planning to meet with trustees in other townships around the county to discuss placement of the signs in their communities. One hiccup in the task force sign campaign came from discussions with Medina County Highway Engineer Andy Conrad. Schnabel said Conrad is against the idea of placing the signs on some of the county roads. Conrad feels the bike safety signs could give a cyclist a false sense of security riding county roads, which are less than ideal for cyclists since many of them have high traffic counts, are narrow, and have views obstructed by hills and curves. Committee members working on sign placement said they respect Conrad's objections and will be focusing on placing signs on township roads with lower traffic count. Committee member Lynn Nonlenick said some experienced bicyclists will probably continue to ride roads that pose higher risks, and all cyclists should be reminded to follow basic safety rules and etiquette for safety cycling. First on Nolan's safety list for cyclists is to maximize their visibility by wearing bright clothing and using flashing rear and front lights. Safety rules of groups of riders include riding in single file, not passing on the right, including at stop signs and traffic lights, establishing a ride order before hills to reduce the need to pass another cyclist, and making eye contact with the drivers you encounter at an intersection or at a driveway. Coming up next, I'm going to take a look and see if the heat and humidity is going to break anytime soon, and if you will receive any water for your grass that definitely and desperately needs it. Right back. And welcome back. Hey, have you been tired of the heat and humidity? Well, so have I. And there is actually some relief in sight. Let's take a look at climatological information here for the weather headlines, Brunswick and Medina County. Your average highs from the 25th to the 31st of July are still in that 82-degree range, but the average lows 61, and we drop off to 60 degrees by the end of July. And you know what that means? We're going to be talking about some white flaky stuff here in about 6 months, and I'm not talking about dandruff. I'm talking about the kind of stuff that accumulates on the roadways. But for now, we'll suffer through the heat and humidity. Average rainfall for the next week is 0.86, and you'll notice that's down a little bit from our last report. That's because you're getting into the dry time of the year, and you'll notice that fall off even further and further through August into September and October. Now, the National Weather Service 8 to 14 day outlook, it looks like this for the area. Below normal, 50% or greater likelihood of below normal temperatures in the upper Midwest and into the Ohio Valley. You have a 40 to 50% chance of below normal temperatures. That's great news if you hate this heat and humidity. And I, for one, can handle it for a little bit, but after a while it gets kind of old and it does become rather laborsome to do stuff outside, as you know. The heat indexes have not helped at all either. 111 to 115 at some points in time this summer already. Precipitation. I know your grass is probably drying out as mine is as well. Is there any hope in sight for that? Well, a 33 to 40% chance of above normal precipitation for Ohio. The upper Midwest looks like below normal, 33% or greater chance. And off here on the East Coast, look at this. 50 to 60% chance above normal precip for that area, and that doesn't look too bad for them. They've been kind of dry out there as well. So let's hope that sometime in the near future we cool off and we dry off, and I think that will happen. I'll be right back. And welcome back. Let's take a look at this week's Community Bulletin Board. Visit the Cleveland Metro Parks Zoo Asian Lantern Festival Thursdays through Sundays until August 19th from 6:30 to 10 p.m. This limited engagement event features over 40 larger-than-life, colorful, customized lantern displays. The Asian Lantern Festival, presented by Cleveland Clinic Children's, is an event not to be missed. In addition to the brilliant lanterns, get a taste of Asian culture with authentic cuisine, craft market, and live performances on the Fifth Third Bank stage, all surrounded by your favorite zoo animals after hours. For more information or to purchase tickets, call the zoo at the number listed below, or you may also visit their website, which is also listed below. Medina County Fair time is finally here, celebrating Medina County July 30th through August 5th. The fair has a rich and interesting background. It evolved from the early agricultural societies of Connecticut, and for many years, people came together to show their livestock on the public square of Medina, long before the Medina County Agricultural Society was officially organized. The Medina County Fair is one of the largest, the Medina County Fair, let's try it again. The Medina County Fair is actually one of Ohio's oldest and largest county fairs and will celebrate its 173rd anniversary this year. I guarantee you folks in Medina County can pronounce that a little easier than I can. The fair's mission to provide a center of activity for the preservation and promotion of the agriculture through the enhancement and management of our fairgrounds. The fair's original budget of $67.50 has expanded a little bit to a budget of over $1 million. Over 800 exhibits, 350 concession stands, and 1,200 junior fair members help to welcome the 110,000 plus fair attendees each year, and we hope you're among them. To see all this year's fair has to offer, visit their website listed below. Join Chef Carrie Beagle for a demonstration of the use of fruits, vegetables, and herbs in ways that enhance our favorite grilling meats. Tasting samples will be available straight from the grill. This healthy grilling event aimed at adult cooks starts at 6 p.m. on Monday, July 30th at Medina County Library's main branch on South Broadway Street in Medina. To register or get more information, visit their website or call 330-725-0588. Buckeye Missions and Sanctuary Wednesday is having a fundraiser at the Strongsville Buffalo Wild Wings, 8465 Pearl Road on August 1st, 2018, from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Buckeyes Missions, a 501c3 nonprofit organization, offers for pay services like doggy daycare, boarding, grooming, and behavioral training. All proceeds from these services benefit neglected, abandoned, abused, and overlooked dogs. Donations in the form of pillows, toys, towels, blankets, tennis balls, harnesses, leashes, plastic grocery bags, and of course money are always welcome. Buckeye Missions and Sanctuary is located at 4866 Center Road in Brunswick near the substation. Meet and greets with our adoptable dogs are Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon or by appointment. Visit the website to view the adoptable dogs, which is listed below, or call area code 330-460-6347. Are you looking for something a little different to do while the kids are still on summer break? What about the International Women's Air and Space Museum, which is located in the terminal of Burke Lakefront Airport, only seconds from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum and the Great Lakes Science Center. The mission of IWASM is to preserve the history of women in aviation and space and to document their continuing contributions today and in the future. Exhibits are in the lobby at Burke as well as the West Concourse and are accessible 7 days a week from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. Admission is free. Fay Gillis Wells Research Center and Gift Shop is open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. For additional information, please visit their website listed at the bottom of the screen. Another free Off the Beaten Path event for the whole family is a demonstration of how the locks of Ohio and Erie Canal work. Available Saturdays and Sundays through August 26th, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Learn how the locks were used to move canal boats down the Cuyahoga Valley National Park's canals and how the Ohio and Erie Canal shaped the nation. Lock demonstrations repeat as crowds gather. Canal Exploration Center is located at 7104 Canal Road, Valley View, Ohio. For more information, give them a call at 216-524-1497 or visit their website listed below. And that's about all the time I have for this week. Hope you have a great week. Thanks for joining me, and until the next time with your Brunswick Cable Access News, I'm Don Keating.
The preceding program was made possible through the use of equipment and facilities of Brunswick Area Television.